Okay, so this is all set to go. I know I just opened that and close it again, but make sure that's there. Good. Okay, so what do we do next? Well, let's just go test it. I think somewhere in here it tells you, yeah, to run this to see if it works. So we're just going to open up a command prompt, maybe cmd. There you go. cd, oops, cd backslash cd sap bin RFC. Okay, that's good. Error. This is good. We just wanted to make sure that DLLs were registers and they weren't. Sometimes if you don't have your path set up correctly, it's going to come over and say, I can't find this DLL or that DLL, or that the Microsoft Visual C++ runtime library is missing. That's good. We'll do a quick check here. I'm going to open Python. Nope, I'm going to quit Python because we still have to install the module, the PyRFC, and download and install. We're just going to do pip install PyRFC. Could it be simpler? Probably not. Later on, we will install different versions of the RFC connections. We will create an RFC server, and it needs an older version of Python and an older distribution of the PyRFC. Or maybe we'll just go call the DLLs directly. We might be able to do that. A little more difficult. But for right now, we're just going to pip. We're going to clear the screen so we can see it. Pip install PyRFC, and hope pip is smart enough to know it's version 3, and it's going to pick the right version of PyRFC. There it goes. Successfully downloaded. Python import. Here comes the truth. PyRFC RFC. Oh, and imported. That's great news. So what does this mean at this point? That means that we can now go deal with some stuff. I'm going to, let's get rid of you. You're good for now. I'm going to log into our SAP system that's running. It's again the ABAP Developer Edition. Type in the password. This one's download 1 for LOD, capital D. To get in here, depending on the version you have, it might have a different change check with the documentation SAP to see what's going on. And we can see that we're logged in. The example we're going to do is basically we want to mimic SM51, which will show you the application instance, the host name, and various other things. We're going to use an RFC enabled function. Take a simple one. It's called list server, I think. So list. What is it called? TH server list. This guy right here. I'll display. It's just code. It's not that much. I think it's making a kernel call. So there's not a lot to it. There's so the kernel call, but that does not. Okay, we don't have any sorts of auth check. It looks like, so that's good. Here are import parameter services, sysservs. They all have default values, so we don't have to put that. And then exports, or does it do changing, or tables? Tables, it does a list and an IP6 list. Okay, I'm going to run that in test mode, just for giggles. As you can see here, here are the services, the input parameters, and then what's going to output. I'm just going to run that. And you have two IP6 or list. List will be the one you want for this. And it'll return name, host, service, all right, whatever. So what we want to test then is to come into Python and mimic this with that RFC call. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new guy and say test R PyRFC install against NPL. Okay, well maybe we'll just, I hate that. I put a thing there, does it make it doc string? Okay, good, whatever, here we go. So the first thing we do is just say import PyRFC RFC. Do you see that? We're going to save that. And we're going to put it in our handy dandy I don't remember where we used to save things. I thought we had a, oh, it's on a different drive. Sorry, guys. The root directory, scripts, Python. Let's create a new folder called just SAP for now. Well, we'll work down. We'll go into here, and we'll say PyRFC demo. Okay. And if name equal, oops, having problems with the keyboard. Dangerous area, folks. Coding while recording for the first time. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to print done. Always put print done. Just standard out on these things with an exclamation point. And I just want to see if it runs. I mean, I don't know if that's going to go pick you up. Probably error out. Yeah, it doesn't know what you are. Couldn't find the DLL. So I'm just going to close wing. Probably just doesn't have the path information. I know it says in the other thing you don't need path, but let's go look at either way. Anyway, pick you right there. Wait a while for it to come back. I'm going to minimize that a little bit. Get rid of that. We'll do the housekeeping as wing starts back up. So slow, right? Well, my wingtips go away. Okay. Let's just go see. Python shell. Import PyRFC. Okay, that imported, so let's see if this worked this time. Sorry, probably, it's kind of hard since we installed it and I had wing up already. Did it do anything? Or do we have another error? No debug process. Done. Okay, it worked. Okay, so that's great. So so we're getting the library on there. So I'm just going to create a dictionary. I don't know if I have my cursor right there. Put my, call it SID equals U. I'll just put it right there. First thing we're going to do, we're just building connection string, SID. SYID, and that would be our SID, which is NPL. And we're going to do an MS host. There's going to be this guy right there. Control Y, Control C to copy. String. Okay. Then we're going to do sys number, sign number, sys number, sorry. And I think that's just going to be 00. We'll look in here in a second. I usually pick 01 as the instance, but and the ASES as 00, but this was pre-made by SAP, so it's the other way around, I think. And then we want to have the group, the RFC group. Oop, come back. Group. RFC, and we want MS service. And it's going to be 33 something. I want to come over and run the transaction SM. I'm going to run the transaction open new window, /o, SMMS. And what am I running on? I'm going to pull that down. 3601. I'm wrong. 3601. 33 is the RFC port. Sorry, guys. Okay, so that's good. Might as well give it a client. Again, this is just connection string stuff. This is me typing badly over and over again. I think we're in client 001. Oh, man, I'm having a hard time with the keyboard here. And then, of course, we want a user, and we're using the default developer, and the password, which is a weird PWD. No, sorry, it's PASWD. And don't do this in real life, folks, but since this is the default instance, it's DWON1 OLD as defined on the web by the SAP folk. I would change that. We have encryption stuff that we can encrypt from previous videos. Don't have to do this. You can create a trusted connection to this. This is an example. We'll get into those parts later. Save that. I'm just going to run it to make sure I don't have any nastiness. What do you say is the problem? Yeah, we didn't use that, but it looks good. Okay. Okay, done. Okay, so now we're going to say with what PyRFC connection, and we're just going to say give me the parameters from SID as SAP connection. What are we going to do? We're going to say SM51 as a return variable equals SAP con dot call, and it's th serverless, right? And then whatever variables we put in, we'll send it as a dictionary. Let's minimize you, come back to you, go back. I guess we can just come over to the import active server. We're going to say active server, dictionary, active server equals 1. Just sending it the same thing. Nothing really good. Interesting about this, let's just say print the response from SM51. And what do we want for the output? So that was under tables, right? So I want list. And what's in list? You can click in here. It gets sort of cumbersome, but list name home serves, right? So we're just going to say, hey, we're going to bit for instance I in SM51 list, right? This guy right there. I'm going to run this again. It'll be easier to see, I guess, this way. F8. Run. We want list. We'll just drill into that, and then we want name, host, and service. Okay, so let's just go print name. Let's say tab I name. Oh, look at that. Name. What am I doing here, guys? I am just gonna play with double ticks there and do formatting string. That should give me I.name, right? So I'm just gonna copy and paste. This is really simple. Just to test things out. We're doing. Let's do 3 of them. Host and serve. Host and SRV. Okay, so that should be pretty much it. Let's put a breakpoint there, and let's make sure that things are okay. I hope they're okay, and not sure what else to look for here. Okay, so what we're doing here, we're importing the PyRFC. We're creating a connection variable defined. You can go to the PyRFC page. I'm sure there's some examples here of how to log on, and here is the connection string that they're using. You can use that, or the one, if you want to have whatever. This will work, I hope. Make the connection, create the connection, and then make a call to the TH server list. So that should just pretty much be it. I am going here. Let's just take it from there and hitting F8 in this case to get the parameters I want in there, and then run it to get a list with one entry to print that stuff. So let's run it. Let's see if it fails or works. It's the first time going through, it fails because I did something horribly wrong and nasty, right? And what it is I did wrong, it looks like I have put that incorrectly. So I should have looked up here for a syntax check, but I didn't. So let's do it again. Such is life. F6 and wing to get past it. Okay, that's a good sign right there, because that means we made a connection here. I can go to SMGW, the gateway. Should we do this in a new window? Okay. Hey, look, I am logged in right now in Python. I can come over here and see my logged in client, and there I am. I'm on there right now, folks. So that's good. We'll go later on through a bunch of SAP stuff, but this is just to get us going. So I'm going to return back the SM50, see if this call makes. If maybe I got this wrong. I don't see it, but it worked. So right now I'm going to go print off what this guy returned, which is essentially all this stuff. F6, there. As you can see, I've got this stuff. That's awesome, right? You can go this way, and it certainly has more stuff. So we made a successful connection to SAP. That is fantastic. List, there. So this is working. So let's see. We called out those three table columns. So 1, there you go. That's the name of my instance. Boom. Oh, I forgot to change the thing. Host, and then the port, which is obviously not tick port, was, whatever tick port resolves to, and then it should be done. And you can have multiple app servers in a real life environment, anywhere from 1 to, I don't know, we have 50 at work, and that would just put those all out. So I'm just going to just make this a little more complete. Host, and then service, save, run, boom, click, and go. There, it did it. What we've established now is we can now programmatically talk to SAP from Python. And we're going to build a lot of tools based off of this. We'll manage it, put it into SQL Server, and this is just the very first step in a bigger world for, playing around with SAP AppOp. And I'll talk to you soon.